All right, so as the credits are rolling, I thought I would do one of my convoluted talks about a game. This was Stellar Blade, a stellar game, if I might say so myself. Um, I really enjoyed it. Fantastic game. I think I got the somewhat bad ending. There are different endings you can get. Now I know what I should have done to get another ending, which I will do in New Game Plus because the game features a New Game Plus. So this is what I am planning to do. Now about the game, it's an action adventure game with way more platforming than I would have liked because this is, I think, my biggest criticism with the game. I could stay here and gush about the game for an hour. The visual, the music, the sound design, the story got me going for quite some time. I really enjoyed it. And the sound design, the sound that the things are making when you play, not just the music, but the whole sound design. You know, what the enemies, the noise enemies makes when they die, when they explode, when, you know, the footsteps, all of those things. I really enjoy the sound design. The game played flawlessly on my PS5. I had no crashes, nothing, and I've played since day one. So I'm about 20 hours in. This is about what it took me to get to the ending. Although I missed quite a few things, there are a bunch of side quests I didn't do. So quite a lot to explore in New Game Plus. But yeah, one of the criticism I have is Eve, the main character, is incredibly agile in combat. Like she's crazy good. But then you have to grab a rope, and she really sucks. Jumping from platform to platform is not exactly great. Fortunately, there's not a lot of it, but I just think there could have been none of it or have more, you know, required jumps. I don't know if you've played Stray, but in Stray you cannot jump when you want. You can just jump on things that are pre-programmed for you to jump on them. And I wonder, it might be a hot take. Not that I want the main character to not jump, but for the platforming section, I think another system could have worked better. That said, all the environment, all the places you visit during the game, it's all very good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm still on the I'm still on the hype of the ending. That of course you won't have seen here. I don't want to spoil the game, so you're here stuck with the credits and my voice and the great music though. So I suppose there's that. Um, I've played it quite a bit on my channel, did a few videos on it, and I'm gonna definitely do more videos about Stellar Blade in the future because I am not done. I am definitely not done. Now I want to there's something okay. This is not a spoiler, but to get the good ending, you have some things you should collect, and if you've collected enough, it's gonna change how it ends. I have not collected enough of those things to get like the good ending. From what I understand, there are three endings. Um, you have a choice to make at the end. So there's two endings depending on the choice, and there's one choice you make, and if you have collected enough things, you will get the very good ending. Uh, so seems I did the right choice, but did not have enough stuff. So as far as the outfit, there's a bunch of outfits you can get. I think there's like 70 outfits. I have like 10 that I've made. The thing is, I can live with fan service. I don't mind cleavage. I don't mind, you know, short skirts and stuff like that. But to be fair, at some point, I think it's kind of too much. I've played most of the game with the 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 knit, like, you know, oh man, the, it was like blue and in some kind of handmade, you know, fabric. I quite like that outfit. Uh, but yeah, there's a bunch of crazy outfits in the game you can get. A lot of secrets to discover. Exploration is rewarded, and it's so rewarded that you're gonna get a different ending if you're explored enough. So just to make that point clear, exploration is rewarded. You should not just go to the main places you need to go explore. Go in the streets. Go look, behind big containers. Go try to jump onto places. Talk to people. Do some side quests. It's all gonna be rewarded. You can of course just do the main storyline and you're gonna be fine too. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, fantastic game. Highly recommended. Like I said, bought it day once, been playing it since then, and I had a great time all around. Like I said, the only few annoyances I got were in the platforming section. Sure, the game is challenging. You're gonna have to learn the boss pattern. This is a parry heavy game, but you can dodge too. But all of those things are pretty time sensitive. You don't have a lot of time to think about if you should dodge or parry or just move. Um, Another thing that you will have to learn is the combo. There's a lot of button to press, and it's not a button masher. If you just press, you know, buttons. In any type of order you please, you won't go far. Even on story mode, which is like easy mode, it's still somewhat challenging. Um, if you yeah, if you just button mash, that's not gonna work. It's not a button mashy game. Sure, you have to press a lot of buttons, but you have to press the correct buttons, if that makes sense. I certainly hope it does. So yeah, skills is rewarded. Taking good decision will be rewarded. Um, so yeah, like you can do a special move like with L1 and square, and after that, if you hold square, you're gonna do some extra damage. And the same with the other, you can do L1 and triangle, and then if you press triangle and circle at the same time, you're gonna get some more some more damage in some bigger combos. So so yeah, there's quite a lot to learn. See, I just finished my first playthrough, and by the end of the game, I was beginning to feel comfortable with the different combos. I still have a lot to learn, even after one playthrough. So now I'm not the best of the best. It's not, you know, I'm nothing to write home about, but it's not an easy game. I've found it to be quite challenging, but in the right way. There was no like RNG shenanigans where when I died, I kind of knew why I died and what I should have done to not die. So it's not too frustrating. There's a few bosses that took me quite a bit of time to get, but overall, nothing to be afraid of. There's a bunch of quality of life in the game that I quite enjoy. Like there are some stuff that are locked, and you need a code. And so if you look around, you're gonna find the code. And once you get it, you can go back to the container you have to unlock and press hint, and the code will appear on the screen, which I quite like. It removes the let's write the code on the paper, or let's take a photo of the TV with your phone to remember the code. I thought it was a nice touch. There's a bunch of, I'll call them mini games. Like you have to unlock a chest, and you have to hack it with the D-pad, and you have to to do the correct. Let's say it's up, up, left, left, down, left, up, left, right, right, and you have to do them in a certain amount of time. And at some point later in the game, they're going to be a bit harder, and they're not going to light up, on the screen in the order they are. So you have to be pretty quick on your reflexes to unlock them. Um, what else? Well, in the cons, I would say that some dialogues were a bit stiff. I don't know if it's the I don't know if it's the a translation thing, or if it's just how it is. But you have two characters discussing together, and it doesn't feel very natural. Now I'm really nitpicking here. It didn't detract from the experience. I'm trying to say as much as I can during those credits, and I'm trying to fill dead air. So there's that too. But yeah, the conversation were a bit stiff, and you have those two characters standing in front of each other, not moving much, and sometimes it feels a bit, PS2 era where you talk to characters. There was something a bit stiff, but as I said, nothing to detract from the experience. Um, I like that all of those NPCs that gives you quest. The side quest are It's not fetch quest though. I mean, some are a bit fetchy, but some actually involves quite a bit of action from you. So and they're all telling a story. So they all have stuff to say about the world, uh, about the lore. There's a lot of lore. You can find a bunch of even books that you can read or not read. It's really up to you. You're gonna get out of the game what you put into the game in terms of story. You can have the very basic experience where you just do the main quest, and it's gonna be satisfying in my opinion. But if you do a bit more, you're gonna get a lot more. It's really worth it to go and read. And the game is not that long, so there's no reason to rush to the ending. And also, if you rush to the ending, you're not gonna get the best ending you can. So I cannot wait to see what the best ending is. I'm gonna really work on that ending in New Game Plus. There's a bunch of super intense part too, where I don't want to spoil the game, but there's something. Everything is falling apart, and you have to run and save yourselves. And oh yeah, this is it. I really wanted to talk about this. The game features QTEs, quick time events, and it might not be a popular opinion. It might be a hot take, but I always loved quick time events. Um, I remember when Resident Evil 4 came out on GameCube. There was a lot of quick time events. Now, in Stellar Blade, there's not that many quick time events, but like I said, the whole place is falling apart. You have to run, and then your character jumps, and like it's a cinematic. You don't have much to do, but the character jumps, and boom, you have to press triangle or else you die. So I do like this because it makes me on the edge of my seat, being ready to press whichever button is gonna come up, and it really adds to the emergency feeling that is portrayed on the screen. That said, and this is something I am a bit curious about that I'm looking forward to, is those like very intense sequences because it really is intense. The music, the visual, the rumbling in the controller, and the quick time events, it all makes for a very, very nice and very you know, you're into a very immersive experience is the word I was looking for. And I wonder on a second playthrough, will how will I react? Will this just be a chore that I wish I could skip? I don't know. Um, this is a good question. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this again. I mean, I'm gonna play this again like today. I'm gonna start my new game plus right after those credits ends rolling. So, um, but yeah, I think this is pretty much what I could say about the game. Um, I'm tempted to say about the whole controversy of the visual. This was incredibly overblown. Uh, Most of the characters in the game are dressed completely well, normally, quote unquote, because it's like a post-apocalyptic type of thing. But you know, nobody is on the street offering their bodies. If you know what I mean, it's really fine. I don't see there's way more gore in the game than anything else. Uh, oh, another thing that the game is not separated in level. It's not stage one, stage two, and you can go back to places you visited later in the game. But it's not exactly open world either. You can have a map, you can explore that map to your heart's content, then a cinematic will happen and you're gonna be put into a new place. That said, you can take a ship and go back to the previous place. That's fine. But in some type of, we'll say, levels, it becomes it's not that far from like Dead Space or a third-person shooter. I really enjoyed the change of pace that for a moment, for a section that lasts maybe 30, 45 minutes, there's no sword anymore. You're gonna use your gun. My cat's getting fed. We have a machine, and the cat is getting her food at precise timing. Um, so yeah, I really did enjoy those few parts that really changes the gameplay. In another part, it became a bit like a rail shooter. Well, not a rail shooter, but it becomes like you're sliding on things. You have to uh, not evade, but you have to not bump into stuff, and it doesn't last long. It's just a nice change of pace, is what I'm trying to say without spoiling too much. This convoluted talk is supposed to be very spoiler free. So of course, at some point, you of course have seen some images of the game. It's plastered everywhere. It was a big hit. They sold in pre-order. They sold like more than 1 million copies of this, which I'm glad because yes, it is an expensive game for sure, but there's no you get the full game and it's working on day one, which is which is almost weird. So um, I was really happy. I never buy game on day one, but I got my PS5 like 4 or 5 days before the game came out, and it was completely unrelated. I mean, I did heard about the game, but I just wanted a PS5 because I was fed up with the PS4 loading screen and stuff like that. So it was not. I didn't wanted a PS5 because of Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was on my list of game I could probably play at some point. Just like Returnal, just like Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't want the console for a particular game. I just wanted an upgrade. Had my PS4 for quite a few years. I was still on base PS4. For me, it's quite an upgrade to um, to get this. All right, so I'm pretty much done. I don't have much to say, so I'm pressing X to sped up a bit the credits. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope it was somewhat enjoyable to listen to. At least you had pretty good music in the background, and yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Hope you'll buy Stellar Blade. I do quite like the way they monetize the game, and they put up a demo beforehand so you could try the game before you buy. Yeah, our journey does not end. Sure. Give me New Game Plus. I'm really ready, man. Ready to go back. That's for sure. Amazing game. All right. That was my convoluted talk about Stellar Blade. Now go do something else. Go play games. Bye bye.